Hello ladies and gentlemen, Willie here. Well, today I have some drama for you. If there's one thing TBC, or well, I guess just classic in general, doesn't fail to deliver on, it's drama. Now, as you may well be aware, Phase 2 has just come out, which means Season 1 of Arena has come to its end, the cutoffs are close to being set, and the Season 1 rewards are soon to be handed out. But before that happens, however, Blizzard have done themselves a little review. It would appear for players especially above the Gladiator cutoff in each region and bracket, that being the top 0.5% of players. This also goes for rank 1, which is the top 0.1%. No, it's not the top one team, it's the top 0.1%. False advertising if you ask me. Anyways, a huge amount of the top PvPers in the TBC scene have been banned. These bans are allegedly 6 months long, or in other words, you're not playing Season 2 on that character in any capacity. Most hardcore PvPers have alts anyway on different factions or servers so that they can play depending on who is on. So it's not really going to stop anybody from still playing the game, but it should have some bearing on the end of season cutoffs, who gets what rewards, and hopefully from the items and mounts which are handed out to honestly a shockingly large proportion of Gladiator and above players. I suppose I'll have to do a little disclaimer. Blizzard at times can appear to be rather heavy-handed with bans, specifically on players due to their reliance on automation. Report bombing one person can trigger a response, people being detected AFK in BGs, and so on. But with these bans, when they're actively taking away rewards which people have worked towards for months, surely somebody's gonna have to have had a look at that directly, right? Because recently Blizzard updated the PvP Season 1 leaderboard, and following this, a large number of teams were missing some or all of their players, meaning one of two things. Either those players voluntarily left their rank 1 or Gladiator team a few days prior to receiving rewards, nobody is going to ever do this, or they have involuntarily got banned. On Ironforge.pro here, you can see every team with a red bar against it falling into this category where one or more player has been banned, most likely for piloting. Those who are still shown on the team here are fine for the time being at least. They just happen to be playing with somebody who decided to account share for some real life money. And as you can see, this has affected a lot of teams, especially in EU. Sweatiest region confirmed once again. But I feel I need to make a bit of a differential here between boosting and piloting. These two things are different. Boosting is not against the terms of service. There are PvPers out there who actively boost and accept payment during streams for in-game gold, and that is absolutely fine under Blizzard's terms of service. With a boost, I'd say I want X reward from the season, Gladiator, or whatever it may be from Season 1. I find boosters, make a team, play to within the expected rating range to where I think I'll be safe, pay the booster, all happy, job done, get reward. That does put some limitations on it though on my end as my ability as a player and how my gear is. If you had me on the team, I'm probably going to make it a challenge getting duelist, never mind Gladiator. I'm not particularly a fan of boosting either way. I feel as though it cheapens the achievements of titles in the game, and it removes legitimate players from having a realistic chance of hitting those higher tier rewards as well, because the brackets are so inflated. And honestly, it's funny if you think about it. The people who are paying for boosts from the top players are giving gold to the people who are making it hard to get the top spots by creating a scenario where a small number of people control the top of the ladder. It's like the PvP equivalent of a gold bid run for me. Not a fan of it, very pay to win-esque and everything's a service, but hey, it's allowed, so what can you do? Piloting, however, is an entirely different beast. This is where you pay players to log in or to control your character through some third-party software, at which point the sky is very much the limit. Even with relatively bad gear, the people at the top end doing boosts on certain classes just make anything work with any garbage gear. You having more gear is more of a bonus to them that makes their job easier. Now, account sharing has always been against the terms of service in WoW, except it goes beyond what boosting is. The person who's getting piloted would appear as though they suddenly just overnight learned how to play the game so much better. This has to be so noticeable happening at the end of seasons if you're at a high rank. As for whether full teams will be disqualified if at least one person on the team has been found guilty of piloting, as well as how it will affect cutoffs, is at this point to be determined. The extent of the bans is widespread though across all brackets. It really feels like Blizzard has come down pretty hard on this at the moment if these these bans stick. Looking over some of the details on Ironforge.pro, count how many times you see Gehennas, why am I not surprised? In European 2s alone, a lot of teams have just been full on deleted. Most noticeably teams in the top 100, or at least in the Gladiator range, there being nearly 220 Gladiator teams alone in EU2s, by the way. A similar story with 3s, a lot of crossover with the same players at this point in time, and much of the same story in 5s. Bigger concentration of players, so unsurprisingly a lot of red bars at the top. Over the pond in Murica, it looks comparatively very tame, the 2 scene not being that bad. 3 seems to be the most popular bracket with quite a lot of empty spaces to be seen, and 5s, dare I say it, is looking pretty clean. But the best region to look at has to be Oceanic. Now, OS has a much smaller PvP pool as it's not linked to NA or other regions at all. It was at one point in time. This means it looks like a small number of players have been basically able to entirely lock down the top of the ladder. However, rather unfortunately for them, it looks like every single one of them, bar one, has been banned. So in the Oceanic region, if the bans stick, there is currently 1 eligible rank 1 player out of the 2, 3, and 5s bracket. Every other rank 1 player has been banned. That's the current standings that there are at the moment, and you can see this across the 2s, 3s, and 5s here. Now that's impressive. Hopefully the cutoffs allow a few of the legit Gladiator players to have a nice surprise and get rank 1 instead. Also, fun fact here, I had a look across every region and there are 11 Paladins that are a Gladiator or above in the Season 1 3s bracket. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It's not really related to anything, it's just kind of funny. This is bad for the competitive side of TBC Arena as well. Meme it if you want, but it's a game that Blizzard owns, so they're going to try and make it into an esport. It's just what they do with games. The entire roster of the team that won the first Blizzard TBC 3v3 tournament have been banned. Many other people in this tournament have also been banned. Usually if your account gets hit with a 6-month ban, your time ban from tournament play is going to be quite a bit longer than that. This could honestly be why Blizzard seems to be taking it seriously, because they want to make a lasting thing out of the revamped arena seasons for BC and eventually Wrath. Then again, I say that, and it was a $30k prize pool between 2 regions, and if you won first place on a 3-man roster, that's just over $1,600 per person. And if Blizzard doesn't ban the new accounts made, it's kind of irrelevant anyway. Season 1 gear has been discounted and the blue set from factions is out, though I believe it's revered, so I don't think many 58 boosties are actually going to be grinding the ret for that. I think the strongest message Blizzard could do if they really wanted to discourage this is to make sure the rewards on accounts who are found to have benefited from piloting are removed. People are legitimately paying thousands of dollars for these rewards, and I don't think people piloting accounts are going to have the best refund practices. Segue time. There is an item on old school RuneScape called an Infernal Cape. This is the best melee cape in the game and comes from a very difficult solo instanced endurance challenge, which can last hours and has to be reset from the entire start if you die. It's no joke, especially on your first clear. Naturally, people either aren't good enough or just can't be bothered learning it, so they pay somebody to pilot their account and get it for them. And there are clips out there of people getting them deleted in the game during the middle of combat. The guy in the clip here also got a short ban too. Let me just show you that again. That's like in World of Warcraft equivalent. You're flying around on your rank 1 mount, 310 speed, you're feeling real good about yourself, and then it just straight up disappears from beneath you. You fall out the sky and die. What would be good at this point in time, honestly, is a bit of an announcement. You've already banned people, you might as well capitalize on the win. Nobody's going to be sad about you doing an announcement you banned people, saying, hello players, recently Season 1 ended. During investigations, we found lots of people who benefited from doing against TOS activities. As a result, we banned X number of accounts and removed X number of titles or mounts from the game. Blah, blah. Competitive integrity. Do better in Season 2. Just something like that I think would be pretty good here. If not the people piloting, they'll be back for Season 2 without a doubt. Especially if they're able to keep rewards. They'll already be working on alts as well. Imagine if Blizzard could cut off the market, let the average PvPer who wants to push rating have a bit more of an even playing field and remove rewards. That's about everything I've got to talk about though, guys. As always, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I shall see you all in the next one very soon.